1 year from now, I'll be up on stage with this guy at the next Vegas event. I'll be at the next Vegas event with you on stage. I've only thrown down for about 4,000 people.
Mad brothers. Going on now. Yo.
Are you guys down to or saving the training? Tell you what, save the training. So important. I mean, I know you gotta get mad early.
Alright guys, we're going to get the training started. I just want to say something real quick and then I'm going to give it to Jared. There's this like cycle in BEMA that everyone talks about or thinks about, or it's like your belief equals your thought, and that thought equals the actions you take, and the actions go to your results, and then the results fill the belief. But before belief is, I started reading this book, and it touches on the act before the belief, which is, your programming. And to build that belief, like think about this, guys. I don't know your financial situation or your parents' financial situation, but me personally, my mom never made too much money, probably like $15,000 to $2,000 a month. So when I was growing up, she was the main mentor in my life, the main influence in my life. So I entered a company, BEMA, with that mentality, that programming of making $15,000 to $2,000 a month. And if you don't do something to change that programming, you won't get above that. Your subconscious will literally sabotage you from achieving, the ranks you want to get. So personal development is the most important thing in this business, Like people think of it as like, oh, self-help, like I don't need that. You need that. If anyone that was in this room was capable of making $100,000, they'd be making $100,000. But if you're not at that 1,200 person mark, you're not at that 6-figure mark, then you yourself isn't ready to do that. So how do you get to that point? You have to grow. You have to feed your mind. Money's going to meet you where you're at every single time. So the books are literally going to put you on a different frequency. Like, imagine if we were all partying and, drunk and we were laughing at something that happened and that sober person walked in the room. That person wouldn't really get it because we were all on that same frequency. It's almost the same thing with personal development. The more you feed your mind, the more you can grow. It's all about adding value to yourself so you can add it to others. And that's the most important thing about this business. It's just a transfer of energy, from Brad to Luke to, Tyler to Jesse to Jared to me to you guys. Like, that's all this is. And that's the exciting thing about it. If you can understand this information once and make it make sense to you, you can make it make sense to others. Think about school. You study for a test, you cram your head with all this information, you regurgitate it back onto a piece of paper, and then you have to go study something else. If you work hard at this, if you put that same effort that you put into school, into studying this business, you're going to get the results you want to get. But Jared, if you want to say something.
Yeah, so guys, you heard Luke Kish. You guys heard his results. I just want you guys to know, who are brand new in the room, if you've been in the business for a year, whatever it is, that his results, my results, are in every single one of your futures. If you put in the time, if you put in the effort. This is, like you said, this is not get rich quick. But if you find in yourself that you could do this and you could drive that force home to other people, it'll click with other people, and once something makes sense, which this is starting to do for a lot of people, it's going to continue to work, and it's going to continue to work and continue to work until, like he said, it's a household fucking name. And mark my words, dude, in the next 3 to 4 years, there's going to be a 6-figure income earner on what's the closest college campus here? Penn State, whatever, it doesn't matter. Every single college campus and high school campus, there will be a 6-figure income earner, kid driving a BMW, Audi, Mercedes, doesn't matter. As long as you make the decision, that's going to be you. You've heard it before, guys. If you don't put this into your friend's hands, somebody else will. I guarantee you someone, this isn't their first time hearing about it. And that's not by chance, dude. People, this is a marathon, but we're sprinting the marathon, okay? We understand where we could go with this, and if you take this thing seriously, the payout is ridiculous.
And you have to take it seriously because people follow people who know where they're going, You can't come into this thing, I know people who try to get people to join or enroll before they even are in the business. Like, how can you convince someone or share an opportunity with someone if you yourself don't believe in it?
Yeah, too many people are caught up in the now and don't have anything set in the future. And that's why when this came into my life, and I'm sure like a lot of other people, I saw my future. I saw something that it just blew my mind. So, you know, if you're caught up in the future, if you're caught up in the now, dude, you're gonna lose sight of what this can do for you. That's really all I want to say. If you want to come up to share some words of wisdom.
Cool. Well, first off, you know, that was really, really good advice. You know, what Cody was touching on, the expectation thing. You know, like I said at the beginning, it's like the people that don't win in Vima don't win just because simply they don't think they can. And that sounds kind of corny. It's like, I remember when I was starting, they're like, believe you can do it. And I'm like, it sounds stupid. But I just did. Right? It's like the way my mind works and the way your mind should work is you should look at me and Jared and be like, I'm going to go do the exact same thing that kid's doing. Because why wouldn't you? And if you don't think like that, quite frankly, you need to adjust your mindset and your attitude to win. Right? Like, where's your head at right now, for example?
Right? I'm ready to
JP.
My head right now? My head right now? Let me tell you something. My head right now is right here, because right here is where it's at. If you're not paying attention to what this man is saying, just let you know, I've been in the business 1 week, okay? I'm
No, but I'm saying, like, where's your head at? Like, where you're going? Like,
where am I going?
Yeah.
I'm going to Vegas next year. I'm going to be on stage with that man right there talking to about 50,000 people who are ready to do the same exact thing that most of the people in this room are about to do, and that's kill it.
Yeah. Right? So that's his mindset, dude. Like, and I promise you this, he'll win. Simply because of Yeah. Which is dope. That's what we look for in Vima. But anyway, I'm excited. Where was I? What were we talking about? Expectation. Everyone has expectations, right? You have standards. You set them for yourself. Right, your parents' standards are usually the standards that are sent down to you. What are your expectations, dude? It's like people go, yeah, I want to make $1 million, and when they're young, that's what they expect, and then life comes around, boom, now it's 500,000, now it's 200,000, now it's 100,000. That doesn't happen right away. Now it's 40,000, and then you end up settling for a fucking paycheck working 40 hours a week, which is fucking insanity to me, right? But that expectation that you set for yourself, you'll meet. Whatever it is, because your expectation makes you happy. You're not going to get to the point of where you're happy, right? My expectation's 8 to 10 million a year. Until I'm at that point, I'll be sick to my stomach, right? And once I'm at that point, it's a whole different game. You just have more money, and you can make more money because you have more money, right? But because that's my expectation, and that's the lowest in my mind that will make me remotely comfortable, and probably when I'm at that point, it'll go up. That is what I need to have. That's what I need to have happen. Right, so I talk about my numbers, dude. I have friends in the company, dude. I was with Brad. You guys know Brad Alcazar, right? He mentored me basically. We were more just friends. He didn't really help me with the business that much. But I lived about 10 minutes from him for the last 2 years in San Diego. We were in Miami a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I'm like, yo, how much is here? He's like, 4.5, 5. I was like, really? He's like, easy. It's like 400,000 a month. Right, when I met him, results not typical. When I met him, he was making 10, 15 a week. That was 2 years ago. And he was like, yo, these results are in your future. Dude, they're right now. And he's like, yo, these results are in your future. Except they're just way bigger. Right? And I looked at him and I was like, done. What do I need to do? What do I need to read? What do I need to listen to? I'm going to go fucking do it. Performance-driven income, I promise you, I'll go harder than everybody. Verb, energy, give me a lot of them. Drinking like 5 a day. Dude, I was stimmed heavily for like a year straight. Really. But I went all in, dude. Go all in, right? Why wouldn't you go all in? Why wouldn't you? Right? And there's a difference for the people that you're talking to when you're fully committed in something. When someone sees that you're making changes mentally throughout the day, you're skipping the party, you're changing who you are as an individual, I'm going to feel confident and comfortable following that person. If I see that this dude's working his ass off and knows what the fuck he's doing and is confident in where he's going, I'm going to go with. Simply because of what? That. You need to be that. and then have the good intention, right? If what you're trying to do is share with people something that's genuinely better, I don't care how terrible you say the presentation, if that's your intention, the message will get relayed. Like, dude, when I start, I didn't know what to do, but I knew my goal was to find people to team up with and help do what I was doing. Like, I didn't understand everything. It didn't come out perfect, but my intention was there, and because it wasn't like, yo, buy this, so I'm like $100, that's not gonna work, dude. Like, you don't need to do any funky, fucking weird sales tactics. Like, you don't need to do any mind games, no fucking straight line persuasion bullshit, Wolf of Wall Street. You don't need that, dude. Vima's really easy, right? In life, everything is a story. Everything that's in existence is a story. Everything, right? Mont Blanc pens, why are they expensive? Because of the story behind them. Rolex watches, why are they expensive? Because of the story behind it, right? It creates the value. Like, if you have a picture and, you know, that picture happened to be on a day when you were with your parents, it was one of, like, the happiest days of your life, the story behind it created the value for it, right? To someone to be a regular picture, but the story behind it was creates the value. All you have to do in Vima is share with people the story of what's happening. That's it. You don't make people's decisions. You give them the information and let them make their decision. That's all I do. I'm like, yo, this shit really makes sense to me. See if it makes sense to you. Think about it. If it does, call me. That's it. Right? All you need to do is tell them the truth. We're lucky because we got a good fucking truth. That's it. Dude, the company's going to the billions. There's going to be young people that cash out. How to make money's changing. They're just think ahead, dude. They call the Wright brothers crazy. Let's bend metal, fly it over water. Think about that before it exists. Like, if planes didn't exist, your homie's like, yo, I'm going to bend some metal, we're going to put people in it and fly it over oceans. You're fucking crazy. You're out of your mind. Everyone gets on planes. Everything in the world's changing, dude. How your parents communicate, what was it, mail and smoke signals? How they get to work, like... I said that very seriously. Like, mail, everything's changing, right? How could everything in the world change other than how to make money? Like, that's the only thing anyone in this room that's doing that's the same as what you did 30 years ago. That's the only thing throughout the day. That's the same. That's the only thing. It's not a question, man. It's not a question. It's not a question. I could go off on school for days. But your intention needs to be there. Link up with an upline. Study it, dude. Like, how do you get good at anything? You just do it. Like, have faith that whatever you're doing is right for you at that time. Fully, whatever it is. Don't think less, do more, right? And out of every situation, you'll have two outcomes. You'll either win or you will learn. You will either win or you will learn. And you just continue. The faster you go, the better you get. Dude, you play an instrument, you probably stunk when you started. And you continued and studied good people, and then what? You got good. Doctors practice medicine, lawyers practice law, network marketers practice what? Talking to people. If I can effectively get you to understand what I'm thinking, we build an empire. If you can effectively get the people you're talking to understand what you are thinking, you will be able to relay the message and work with them. Practice, man. It's that simple. So practice, work hard. You're not going to get paid professional money with amateur skill level, right? You need to read the books. My advice is, and for sure, next time we do trainings, you want to have notebooks, right? Because about 5% of this shit you're going to remember, and the other 95, which is fucking valuable, thank God he's doing it, right? Blow that shit up and send it out, right? Like, I promise you, dude, if you take what I'm telling you right now, you'll make incredible headway. Incredible headway. Just take it and apply it. Don't fucking, just, excuse me for cursing, don't just, boop, that was fun, and then wake up in the morning and go back to everything else. For things to change for you, you need to change. And then lastly, don't try and understand 20 grand a week. Don't try and understand 2,000 people, right? I remember when I started, I knew that shit was in my future, but I didn't think about it. I knew that it was possible, but I didn't think about it. It was just like, yo, how can I get to the next step? Just one step at a time, baby. You don't set out to build a wall, right? You're not like, I'm going to go build a big, bad wall, right? You're like, I'm going to lay this brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid every day, and eventually, everyone's heard that shit, right? Will Smith says, I ripped off, yeah. You lay bricks, and eventually you have a wall. That comes out of a really good Success audio. Will Smith's Secrets to Success, if you haven't seen it yet. So, lock in, lead your team. You should look at yourself as the top, you down. Like, I wasn't like, yo, I'm in Bryce's, Patrick Comer's, Adam Wenig's, Anthony Cometta's business. Like, yo, I'm running my shit. They're lucky they don't have to fucking worry about that side ever again. And I passed them all, other than 2, and they have me in their business, and I'm still right behind them on the topic of cover list, but I will pass them shortly, right? That's where your mind should be at. Like, your mind should be like, yo, I'm going to lead my organization. I'm going to have meetings at my house. I'm going to learn the presentation. I'm going to understand the ins and the outs. I'm going to be able to teach and run my team. Because you can't make the money that I'm making unless you can do all of that. And that's why everyone's in it, right? So it's worth it. And then lastly this, don't care what people think, right? I promise you, man, 99.9% of the people you know have no clue what they're talking about. And that sounds mean, right? But it's the truth. Like, how could you care, and it's your friend's opinion, so I get that, but like, you just can't let it bother you at all. Like, has everyone heard the subway analogy? For the people that haven't, right? In this business, people are your business. But it's not like an object. You get response. And because you're human, you pick up on it. And unless you're very grounded, you lose your ground, and you get influenced by their opinion, right? It's simply a business function, right? If you're talking to somebody, you can understand this. If you're brand new, you're not going to fully understand. Not everyone you talk to is going to get involved. Why? Because you don't fully understand it yet. Maybe they didn't even listen. Maybe bad timing. Whatever it is, that's part of the process. But it's a business function, right? If you own a Subway, this fan is drying my eyes out. If you own a Subway and the turkey goes bad at the Subway, right, that's a business function. If you go have a meeting and someone doesn't enroll, that's a business function, right? Now, if the turkey goes bad at your Subway, are you going to doubt if the fucking Subway can work? No. You're going to throw the shit out, get a new turkey, and you're going to go continue, right? So if the new person doesn't enroll with you, or your friend doesn't get it, maybe because you don't fully get it, or they weren't listening, why would that sway where you're at in your business? It shouldn't. Don't let it, right? Plant your feet firm in your opinion. Validate everything I'm telling you. Go. This is my last thing. I'll shut up. Have a figure it out mentality. Like, go figure it out. It's great if it makes sense to you. Clearly, it makes sense to me. It's got to make sense to you. Go think of the concept yourself. Form your own opinion on it. Do you think it's a good idea? Why do you think it's a good idea? What did you read that clicked? What did you do that worked? And just go with it. And if you do that, you're going to win. All right, so what's up?
I was just going to say, like, do you have any, like, recent audios or books or anything recent that you've come across?
Yeah. My favorite book in the world is Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist. Yeah. Right now I'm reading Untethered Soul, which isn't network marketing at all. I'm reading The Pilgrimage, which is also Paulo Coelho. And then all the personal development stuff you can't go wrong with 10X Rule, U Squared, Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich. And if you're new, don't read those books, I would say. Read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That book single-handedly completely changed my life. Completely. It's how to become successful. Like, it's like a book that, like, lays out how to get you from here, how to manifest the desire into reality, how to get, you know, what you want out of anything in life, and what's going to hold you back, how to be aware of it, all that. And then Building Your Network Marketing Business audio by Jim Rohn. And it's got to be, like, ingrained. And then A.L. Williams, Art of Recruiting. If you listen to those three things, right, they'll inspire you internally to go find all the other books and audios you're going to need necessary to hit the level you're looking for, right? So like I said, just 1 foot at a time, man. Take steps, get the progress, make $700. Lastly, don't sign people up to sign them up to make them wealthy. The moment you enroll somebody, your focus is now not on you, it's on them. How can I get them mentally to where I'm at? You cannot grow unless you have people doing what you're doing, right? And this is where my head would be at if I was you, right? Andrew Yeager, myself, Tyler Swan, and Tom Neubauer will all be in this area for the whole summer. We'll be traveling, but we'll be planted 40 minutes from here. We all live in the same area, okay? We will all be millionaires through VEMA. Some of us are already close to being millionaires through VEMA, meaning as far as help goes or mentorship or guidance, you couldn't have better, right? Tom taught Brad. Tom made ridiculous. Tom's number one. Brad taught me, right? I have 100% of the information. I'm hands down the biggest person on his one side, okay? His profit, hands down, right? I have 100% of the information. Our group has 100% of the information. I would grind this thing out to have like 300 people, me personally. Maybe you want to go for 100, whatever makes sense to you, do that. I would grind it out, and I would be going for like 300-400 people by the time summer rolled around, right? Then, say out of 300-400, you have 25 ride or die serious motherfuckers with you that all go to different schools. 25 people that know how to build it, that all go to different schools and have different networks, say they all put on 50. 25 little teams of 50. Right? You have meetings going on at every single school every night that you're getting paid on because of the work you're putting in right now. At 1,200 orders, 25 times 50 is what? 1,250, right? Yeah. Okay, at 1,200 orders, you're at a 6-figure income, dude. I know for a fact I would hit that shit from zero by midway through first semester. Be like, Mom, I'm making $100,000 a year. I'm out. But seriously, that's where your head should be at. So plant your feet, build the Facebook groups, plug in, get onto the videos, get into the content, text groups, like plug your team in. Like be the fucking peg that everyone's feeding off of. Right? Like be the guy who's like setting the pace. Like, yo, are you on the call? Yo, we have this video. It was dope. Yo, Facebook group just set it up. We're posting. Like, line it all up, dude. Dial it in. Treat it like a fucking business, and it will pay you like one. All right? And then lastly this. Commitment's what's left after the... I've said lastly like 6 times. I'm done. Commitment's what's left after the emotion, the moment's gone. Right? One more time. Commitment is what's left after the emotion of the moment is gone. It's really easy to feel good right now. Right? Commitment's what's left after the emotion of the moment is gone. Doing what you said you would do long after the emotion you said it in is gone. Commit. All right? So thank you, and make some fucking money.
Yeah.
All right, coming out. Drive home safe.